Aberrant, pronounced as ab-arrent, meaning very unusual or strange. Synonyms: abnormal, odd. Example sentence: when the researcher saw the animal behaving in an aberrant way that none of the other animals showed, he spent the entire afternoon studying it to understand why it was acting so differently. Abhorrent, pronounced as ab-horrent, meaning extremely unpleasant or hateful. Synonyms: disgusting, revolting. Example sentence: the community found the man's actions abhorrent, and they all agreed to support strong punishment so such shocking behavior would never happen again. Abnegate, pronounced as ab-nih-gate, meaning to give up a right or desire. Synonyms: renounce. Example sentence: great leaders often abnegate personal comfort for the benefit of others. Abrogate, pronounced as ab-rogate, meaning to cancel officially. Synonyms: annul. Example sentence: the government decided to abrogate the outdated law that no longer made sense. Abscond, pronounced as abscond, meaning to escape secretly. Synonyms: flee. Example sentence: the thief tried to abscond with the money but was caught quickly. Absolve, pronounced as absolve, meaning to free from blame. Synonyms: pardon. Example sentence: the court absolved him when new evidence proved his innocence. Accentuate, pronounced as accentuate, meaning to make something stand out. Synonyms: highlight, emphasize. Example sentence: the photographer used special lighting to accentuate the model's features so that every detail would appear clearer and more attractive in the final picture. Acclaim, pronounced as acclaim, meaning to praise. Synonyms: applaud. Example sentence: the actor was acclaimed worldwide for his brilliant performance. Accolade, pronounced as accolade, meaning an award or praise. Synonyms: honor. Example sentence: she received an accolade for her outstanding performance in the competition. Accost, pronounced as accost, meaning to approach aggressively. Synonyms: confront. Example sentence: a stranger accosted him on the street, demanding money. Acquiesce, pronounced as acquiesce, meaning to agree without fighting. Synonyms: accept, comply. Example sentence: even though he did not like the decision, he finally acquiesced because he realized arguing would only create tension and delay the project. Acquittal, pronounced as acquittal, meaning being declared not guilty. Synonyms: release. Example sentence: the court's acquittal brought relief to the man after months of stress. Acrimony, pronounced as acrimony, meaning bitter anger. Synonyms: hostility. Example sentence: years of acrimony between the neighbors finally ended after a long conversation. Acuity, pronounced as acuiht, meaning sharpness, mind or senses. Synonyms: accuracy. Example sentence: her mental acuity helped her solve complex problems quickly. Acumen, pronounced as acumen, meaning sharp ability to think. Synonyms: insight. Example sentence: his business acumen helped the company grow rapidly in just 5 years. Addendum, pronounced as addendum, meaning extra part added to a document. Synonyms: appendix. Example sentence: the contract included an addendum explaining new conditions. Adept, pronounced as a department, meaning highly skilled. Synonyms: expert. Example sentence: she is adept at coding and can fix technical problems with ease. Adjourn, pronounced as adjourn, meaning to pause a meeting. Synonyms: suspend. Example sentence: the judge decided to adjourn the hearing until the next morning. Adjudicate, pronounced as adjudicate, meaning to judge or decide. Synonyms: settle. Example sentence: a neutral panel will adjudicate the dispute between the two companies. Admonish, pronounced as admonish, meaning to warn or gently scold someone. Synonyms: caution, criticize. Example sentence: the mother admonished her son for staying out too late, but she spoke lovingly and explained that she only wanted him to be safe. Adorn, pronounced as adorn, meaning to decorate. Synonyms: beautify. Example sentence: they adorned the hall with flowers for the festival celebration. Adversary, pronounced as adversary, meaning an opponent. Synonyms: rival. Example sentence: the boxer trained harder when he learned he would face his toughest adversary. Aegis, pronounced as aegis, meaning protection or support. Synonyms: shield. Example sentence: the project was completed under the aegis of the government. Aesthetic, pronounced as aesthetic, meaning related to beauty or appearance. Synonyms: artistic, stylish. Example sentence: the new restaurant has such an aesthetic design, with soft lighting and natural colors, that people visit not only for food but also for the calming atmosphere. Affable, pronounced as affable, meaning friendly and easy to talk to. Synonyms: pleasant. Example sentence: because he was so affable, everyone enjoyed working with him. Affliction, pronounced as affliction, meaning great suffering. Synonyms: pain. Example sentence: the disease caused long-lasting affliction, affecting millions of people. Affluent, pronounced as affluent, meaning having a lot of money. Synonyms: wealthy, rich. Example sentence: the affluent family often donated to schools and hospitals because they believed their wealth should help others live better lives. Affront, pronounced as affront, meaning an insult. Synonyms: offense. Example sentence: his rude remark was an affront to their hard work. Agglomerate, pronounced as agglomerate, meaning to gather into a cluster. Synonyms: collect. Example sentence: particles began to agglomerate and form larger structures under the microscope. Agility, pronounced as agility, meaning ability to move quickly. Synonyms: nimbleness. Example sentence: his agility on the field made him the fastest player on the team. Agnostic, pronounce as agnostic, meaning unsure about God's existence. Synonyms: uncertain. Example sentence: she remained agnostic, saying she needed more evidence before deciding. Alleviation, pronounce as alleviation, meaning reducing pain or burden. Synonyms: relief. Example sentence: medicine brought alleviation from the severe headache she had all morning. Allude, pronounce as allude, meaning to hint at something indirectly. Synonyms: suggest, imply. Example sentence: during the discussion, she alluded to a big surprise coming next week, which made everyone curious about what she was planning. Altruistic, pronounce as altruistic, meaning selfless. Synonyms: generous. Example sentence: her altruistic nature drove her to help children in orphanages every weekend. Ambience, pronounce as ambience, meaning mood or atmosphere. Synonyms: environment. Example sentence: the cafe's warm ambience made it a favorite spot for evening conversations. Ambiguous, pronounce as ambiguous, meaning unclear or confusing. Synonyms: vague, unclear. Example sentence: his instructions were so ambiguous that nobody understood exactly what they were supposed to do, causing unnecessary delays. Ambivalent, pronounce as ambivalent, meaning having mixed or unsure feelings. Synonyms: uncertain, conflicted. Example sentence: she felt ambivalent about taking the new job because, although it offered good pay, it required her to move far away from her friends and family. Ameliorate, pronounce as ameliorate, meaning to improve. Synonyms: enhance. Example sentence: new policies helped ameliorate working conditions for employees. Amend, pronounce as amend, meaning to improve or correct. Synonyms: revise. Example sentence: they decided to amend the policy to make it fair for everyone.
Amiable, pronounce as amiable, meaning friendly. Synonyms: warm, pleasant. Example sentence: she was so amiable that even strangers felt comfortable talking to her within minutes. Amorphous, pronounce as amorphous, meaning without clear shape. Synonyms: shapeless. Example sentence: the liquid took an amorphous form, spreading freely on the table. Amplify, pronounce as amplify, meaning to increase. Synonyms: boost. Example sentence: social media amplified the news, spreading it across the world in minutes. Anachronistic, pronounce as anachronistic, meaning out of place in time. Synonyms: outdated. Example sentence: his old phone looked anachronistic in the world of modern smartphones. Analogy, pronounce as analogy, meaning comparison. Synonyms: similarity. Example sentence: the teacher used an easy analogy to explain the complex concept. Animosity, pronounce as animosity, meaning strong dislike. Synonyms: hatred, hostility. Example sentence: despite years of animosity, they finally decided to forgive each other and start fresh. Annex, pronounced as annex, meaning to add something, usually land. Synonyms: attach. Example sentence: the country decided to annex the nearby region, claiming it needed the land for security. Annihilate, pronounced as annihilate, meaning to completely destroy. Synonyms: wipe out. Example sentence: the powerful explosion annihilated the old structure within seconds. Anomaly, pronounced as anomaly, meaning something unusual. Synonyms: oddity, irregularity. Example sentence: the sudden drop in temperature was an anomaly that puzzled scientists for weeks. Antagonism, pronounced as antagonism, meaning strong dislike or opposition. Synonyms: hostility. Example sentence: years of antagonism between the families finally ended when their children became friends. Antagonize, pronounced as antagonize, meaning to make someone angry. Synonyms: provoke, irritate. Example sentence: his rude tone only antagonized the team and made cooperation harder. Anthropomorphic, pronounced as anthropomorphic, meaning giving human traits to non-human things. Synonyms: human-like. Example sentence: cartoons often show anthropomorphic animals that talk and behave like people. Antithesis, pronounced as antithesis, meaning the complete opposite. Synonyms: contrast. Example sentence: his calm personality was the antithesis of her fiery nature. Apathetic, pronounced as apathetic, meaning not caring. Synonyms: indifferent, uninterested. Example sentence: the students seemed apathetic, even when the teacher announced an important topic. Apathy, pronounced as apathy, meaning lack of interest. Synonyms: indifference. Example sentence: his apathy toward studies made his grades drop quickly. Appall, pronounced as appall, meaning to shock or disgust. Synonyms: horrify. Example sentence: the cruel treatment of the animals appalled everyone who saw the video. Apparition, pronounced as apparition, meaning a ghost or spirit. Synonyms: phantom. Example sentence: she claimed she saw an apparition near the old house, which frightened her at night. Appraise, pronounced as appraise, meaning to evaluate or judge. Synonyms: assess. Example sentence: the jeweler appraised the ring and confirmed it was worth much more than the owner expected. Apprehend, pronounced as apprehend, meaning to catch, criminal. Synonyms: arrest. Example sentence: police finally apprehended the suspect after a long chase. Arbitrage, pronounced as arbitrage, meaning buying and selling for profit difference. Synonyms: price gap trading. Example sentence: investors used arbitrage to profit from price differences in two markets. Arbitrary, pronounced as arbitrary, meaning based on personal choice. Synonyms: random, unpredictable. Example sentence. The rules felt arbitrary, leaving employees confused about what was allowed. Arbitrate, pronounced as arbih meaning to settle a dispute. Synonyms: mediate. Example sentence. A neutral third party was called to arbitrate the disagreement between the workers and management. Ardor, pronounced as ardor, meaning great passion. Synonyms: enthusiasm. Example sentence. He spoke with such ardor about his dreams that everyone felt inspired. Arduous, pronounced as arduous, meaning very difficult. Synonyms: tough. Example sentence. Climbing the mountain was an arduous task that tested their strength. Irrigation, pronounced as arrogation, meaning taking something without right. Synonyms: seizure. Example sentence. His sudden irrigation of power shocked the entire committee. Articulate, pronounced as articulate, meaning to speak clearly. Synonyms: express, communicate. Example sentence. She could articulate her thoughts so clearly that even complex ideas sounded simple. Artifice, pronounced as artifice, meaning clever trick. Synonyms: deception. Example sentence. The magician's act was full of artifice, leaving the audience amazed and confused. Ascertain, pronounced as ascertain, meaning to find out for certain. Synonyms: determine. Example sentence. The police worked hard to ascertain the cause of the unusual accident. Aspersion, pronounced as aspersion, meaning a false claim about someone. Synonyms: slander. Example sentence. Casting aspersions on someone's character without proof is unfair and harmful. Assert, pronounced as assert, meaning to state confidently. Synonyms: declare. Example sentence. She asserted that the project would succeed if everyone worked together. Assertive, pronounced as assertive, meaning confident and firm. Synonyms: bold, decisive. Example sentence. Being more assertive helped him express his needs without sounding rude. Assiduous, pronounced as assiduous, meaning showing great care. Synonyms: diligent. Example sentence. His assiduous research helped him write a detailed and accurate report. Assimilate, pronounced as assimilate, meaning to absorb or adapt fully. Synonyms: integrate. Example sentence. Immigrants slowly assimilated into the new culture while keeping their traditions alive. Astute, pronounced as astute, meaning very smart. Synonyms: clever, sharp. Example sentence. The astute manager solved the issue before it turned into a big problem. Atrocity, pronounced as atrocity, meaning extremely cruel act. Synonyms: brutality. Example sentence. The war was filled with atrocities that left millions of people devastated. Attest, pronounced as attest, meaning to confirm as true. Synonyms: verify. Example sentence. Many witnesses came forward to attest that he was at home during the incident. Attrition, pronounced as attrition, meaning gradual reduction. Synonyms: weakening. Example sentence: high employee attrition forced the company to rethink its working policies. Audacious, pronounced as audacious, meaning bold, daring. Synonyms: fearless, brave. Example sentence: starting a business at 19 was an audacious move that impressed everyone. Augment, pronounced as awgment, meaning to increase. Synonyms: enlarge. Example sentence: the company plans to augment its workforce to handle rising demand. Auspices, pronounced as auspices, meaning protection or support. Synonyms: guidance. Example sentence: the festival was organized under the auspices of the local cultural committee. Auspicious, pronounced as auspicious, meaning showing good signs. Synonyms: lucky, promising. Example sentence: they chose an auspicious date for the ceremony to invite positive energy. Austere, pronounced as austere, meaning simple or strict. Synonyms: severe, plain. Example sentence: his room was so austere that it had only a bed and a single table. Authenticity, pronounced as authenticity, meaning being real or genuine. Synonyms: truthfulness. Example sentence: experts checked the painting's authenticity before displaying it in the museum. Autonomous, pronounced as autonomous, meaning independent. Synonyms: self-governing. Example sentence: the region became autonomous, gaining the right to make its own laws. Avant-garde, pronounced as avant-garde, meaning ahead of its time. Synonyms: modern. Example sentence: his avant-garde paintings confused some people but fascinated art lovers. Avarice, pronounced as avarice, meaning extreme greed. Synonyms: greediness. Example sentence: his avarice ruined his relationships because he valued money more than people. Aversion, pronounced as aversion, meaning strong dislike. Synonyms: hatred. Example sentence: she had an aversion to insects and avoided gardens because of it. Avert, pronounced as avert, meaning to prevent. Synonyms: avoid, stop. Example sentence: quick thinking by the pilot averted a major disaster. Avidity, pronounced as avidity, meaning strong enthusiasm. Synonyms: eagerness. Example sentence: she read the new novel with great avidity, finishing it in one night. Avow, pronounced as avow, meaning to declare openly. Synonyms: admit. Example sentence: he avowed his loyalty to the team during the important meeting. Ballistic, pronounced as ballistic, meaning extremely angry or related to missiles. Synonyms: furious. Example sentence: she went ballistic when she found out her files had been deleted accidentally. Banal, pronounced as banal, meaning boring and ordinary. Synonyms: dull. Example sentence: the speech was so banal that people started checking their phones out of boredom. Barrage, pronounced as barrage, meaning rapid outpouring of something. Synonyms: flood. Example sentence: Reporters fired a barrage of questions that overwhelmed the new politician. Befall, pronounced as bih fall, meaning to happen, usually bad. Synonyms: occur. Example sentence: no one expected such tragedy to befall the peaceful town. Befuddle, pronounced as bih fuddle, meaning to confuse. Synonyms: bewilder. Example sentence: the new software completely befuddled employees until they received proper training. Begrudge, pronounced as bih grudge, meaning to resent someone's success. Synonyms: envy. Example sentence: he didn't begrudge her promotion, instead, he congratulated her sincerely. Belittle, pronounced as bih little, meaning to make someone feel small. Synonyms: insult, demean. Example sentence: she felt hurt when her boss tried to belittle her efforts in front of others. Benign, pronounced as bih9, meaning harmless. Synonyms: safe, gentle. Example sentence: thankfully, the doctor confirmed the tumor was benign, bringing relief. Bequeath, pronounced as bih queath, meaning to pass on in a will. Synonyms: leave. Example sentence: the old man decided to bequeath his library to his grandson who loved reading. Berate, pronounced as bih rate, meaning to scold angrily. Synonyms: criticize. Example sentence: the manager berated the employee for being careless during the important task. Bewilder, pronounced as bih wilder, meaning to confuse. Synonyms: puzzle, baffle. Example sentence: the long instructions completely bewildered him, making the task harder.